All right, I am back with another episode of My Two Cents. And today, Flacco says the Nolan Wells murder investigation just took a really dark turn. You think he was turned up on alive? Anyway, I know Flacco has done a lot of research on it. That's why we're about to get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's go.
This Nolan Wells murder investigation just took a dark turn. And we have more information and apparently new details from people that was there that doesn't make sense at all. It feels like when one lie don't work, they come back with another lie. And when that lie don't work, they come back with another lie. But somehow all the lies, even though they're inconsistent, they have one consistent thing. It's Nolan's fault, guys. It's not our fault. Man, cut it out, man. The more you guys talk, the more y'all expose yourselves. Nolan Wells' grandfather, who by the way is a retiree in the Air Force, he proposed a question on Facebook. Now, he believes that Nolan Wells' body essentially was placed there because the discovery of the body doesn't make sense. He goes, too many unanswered questions. How can an island that was searched yesterday produce my grandson's body this morning?
What? Don't make sense to me. Not if they purposely didn't pick it up, but it don't make no sense. Might have been put there.
There's nothing right about this. Nolan Xavier Wells deserves the same things that people he knew and associated with will enjoy in life. This is very important right here. How was the island that was searched yesterday produce my grandson's body this morning?
We were not on the island. We were in the air.
And from your understanding, was the body again believed to be Noah?
What do you mean you wasn't on the island? You were in the air. What do you mean?
Was it found in the same area as where the 18-year-old was last seen?
As I appreciate it, was within close proximity to that northwest corner of the island.
Let's slow that down for a second because that's deep. Now, there's been speculations on where the body was found. The grandfather family said the body was found on an island, on land, not in the water. It was found on land, on the island. Grandfather brings up the fact that, they had drones out on day one. They had a huge man team on day one. They had planes on day one. They had a lot. They had a lot of resources on day one. And by day one, we're talking about on July 5th, the following day. They were searching from like 6 a.m. to like the nighttime to find that body. So if they couldn't find it on day one, and they searched that entire island, they searched that entire body of water, all 15 miles, but the body just magically popped up the following day, it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. I gotta agree. Don't make no sense.
To the family. Now, I'm no expert, so please, bro, right? I'm no expert. I don't know about currents. I don't know about the body floating up. I don't know, right? It could very well be.
No, we're not gonna say the currents floated the body up. We're not gonna play in my face like that, Flacco. I'm not gonna allow them to play in my face like that, Flacco.
Expected for the body to be underwater, then float back up and get washed up on shores due to the currents. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'll leave it up to you guys who know more about that stuff than me. But the family is saying it doesn't make sense and it's suspicious. Was that body placed there? Or was it always there? Or did it just wash up on shore? I don't know. But the family is very suspicious. Now, if you hear like the captain, I guess, of the Cajun Navy, this is the group who I guess went out to search for Nolan and discover Nolan. They tell you how thoroughly of a job they did. They tell you how much resources was put into this from day one. So it's pretty improbable that they wouldn't find that body on that island
Quickly.
Can you walk us through the timeline from the moment that Nolan was reported missing?
Sure. So to the best of my knowledge, again, I didn't get a call till that next day. As I appreciate, late that evening, Nolan was on the beach. The vessel that he came with left. And from there, we don't know what happened, right? Again, I'm just a volunteer, I'm running volunteer operations. I'm not law enforcement. So what happened really isn't what I'm looking for. What I look for a search is that last known location, and then specifics about the area or specifics about the person. Knowing that that northwest corner of Horn Island was what we call the LKL last known location. Um, from there, um, we looked at the weather conditions, tidal conditions, wind conditions to come up with a plan, come up with a grid on what we could do. As within 30 to 45 minutes of when I got notification of him missing from the family and then from the mother, we had surface vessels, that's boats, that were in the area starting to search. We also had 2 drones that were in the air, as well as boots on the ground on the island doing
Okay, so they covered the air, they covered the ground, and yeah, they covered the area. How did the body get there? Come on now, it's really weird.
manual walk to look for Nolan there.
They had boats to check the water. They
Said
had
that.
planes to check the area. They had manual walkers. They had drones.
I just said that, Flacco.
That body was nowhere in sight on day 1. Day 2, the body is now in sight. Now, again, I do want to be clear. I'm not saying the people who were searching did anything wrong, because no, those are superheroes. They did their job. I'm saying, was the body moved? Was people in possession of that body? People who probably killed Nolan. And then once they realized, bro, like, it's too hot to hold on to this body, they came back and dropped the body off, because it doesn't make sense, bro. Now, I'm no expert on type.
Or they put it there so he can be found. Could be that.
Ways on ways, I'm just not. So again, I'm leaving out the possibility that there is a chance the body would have washed up on shore after a couple of days. But the last known location being the northeast, the body goes in the water and then comes back to the exact same location. I don't know. That don't make sense to me. I would think, like, if it goes in the water, it'll probably go off.
Man, y'all know how it is when you floating in that water, you on that beach, and you floating and you swimming, or you could be sitting just standing trying to stand still in the sand, and you look up, and you way off, far away from land, where you ain't even trying to be this far in the water. You just look up and you're accidentally that far. Come on now. You know damn well ain't no current gonna whisk you back to the exact same place. It's just not gonna happen.
Elsewhere, right? And wash up somewhere else. It wouldn't wash up back in the same location that they claimed the body, that they claimed his last name. Like, I don't know, bro. It's just weird. Now, here's the part that gets really spooky and really weird, right? There's a new theory now. Yo, did y'all know that people that were there now have a new explanation as to how Nolan might have went missing?
Oh, they got a new excuse. They got a new excuse.
Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. They're coming up with every creative excuse other than, yeah, we killed that boy.
The United Cajun Navy. They're a volunteer group who helps search for Nolan, but they also say that they have questions too. Let's listen.
I was told that there was a boat he thought he was going to get on that was leaving and that he might have been trying to swim to it.
You see, bruh, they
What?
call us conspiracy theorists. They call us all type of stuff when we...
So y'all think that y'all gonna let us play in our face and tell us he jumped in the water to swim to get on the boat?
We ask questions, but now y'all see...
Boy! These folks right here, boy, what?
What asking questions get you? It started off as, man, we don't know what happened. We left. Nobody seen nothing. Nobody know what happened.
That is insane.
We all hop on our boats and left. He just disappeared out of nowhere. We don't know what happened. Now it's getting to, well, listen, man, don't tell nobody, bro, but like he was trying to swim towards the boat and he just went under. So y'all seen him trying to swim towards the boat and y'all let him drown? But I don't even believe that. I think the real story here, now we're getting the real story. Now we're getting the real story. I think the real story here is that boy was on that boat, an argument took place, they pushed that boy from off that boat, and they kept going. And if they did see him swimming towards the boat, it's because they pushed him off it and he was swimming towards it trying to get on. This is straight up murder. They murdered that boy, man. Straight.
Oh shit, that's how you feel, huh? Matlock. Flacco. You own to something now, Flacco. Cause he damn sure ain't jumped.
It up. They murdered that boy.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
And that's if that's what happened. Listen, I still don't think that it's just that black and white, or is that accidental?
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think so, bruh. I think
it's definitely not accidental. And they definitely running their mouth too much. Everybody is looking. Now ain't nothing, excuse after excuse. Y'all are throwing it out there. Conspiracy theory. Come on, man. Y'all stop playing. Somebody was mad at somebody. Maybe because he was the black kid banging on the white girl. And his people I don't know. Something happened though. He damn sure didn't jump.
Something much more nefarious. But if that's a story they're giving us now, think about it for a second. It started off as nobody's seen nothing. We don't know what happened. Now all of a sudden now is they telling the researchers and the professionals, well, he had a boat he was supposed to get on and he was swimming towards the boat and he drowned. Now he was swimming towards the boat and he drowned. No. If you listen to the timeline closely,
I want to know what the autopsy says. He have any bruises? Has he been beaten? Was he hit? That's what I want to know.
Ashley Cole took to Facebook, that's Warren Hudson's mama. She's the judge, by the way. Ashley Cole is a judge in the town. She said Warren Hudson told her that they last saw Nolan at 3 p.m. They left the island at 4:30 p.m. They told investigators, they asked Nolan, hey, bro, do you want to come with us? We about to leave. And he says, nah, I'm going to stay behind. But if you last saw him at 3 p.m., but you left the island at 4:30 p.m., then when did you ask him, hey, bro, we're about to leave? You asked him that at 3 p.m.? Huh? What? Why would you ask him y'all about to leave, but then you guys stay an extra hour and 30 minutes? Y'all claim y'all left abruptly because y'all boat was malfunctioning, which is why y'all told him, hey, bro, we about to leave. But if you told him, hey, bro, we about to leave at 3 because your boat was malfunctioning, then why did you stay an hour and 30 minutes with a malfunctioning boat? A malfunctioning boat, by the way, that y'all sailed 15 miles in? Man, cut it out, man. Stop it. Now, so that timeline to me now, the story we just heard actually lines up with the timeline they gave if they were not lying. All right? If they came out and told the truth, that timeline would make sense. And here's what I'm saying. So Javon Williams, Nolan Wall's best friend, the black kid, he ain't do nothing wrong, bruh. That was Nolan's best friend. He says, I last saw Nolan around 4 p.m.
Okay. So everybody asks, if they say they asked him, are you coming with us at 3:30? His best friend says, no, I saw him at 4 p.m.
Because, Javon Williams would have given Nolan a ride home if Nolan needed a ride. Like, Javon ain't leaving, like, Nolan there. Nah, but Nolan was gone when Javon was still there. The last time he seen Nolan was around 4 p.m. The 3 friends who was on the boat that he was supposed to leave with, they said they left without him because he was talking to the girl, Katie, and he was going to stay back to talk to Katie. Katie said the last time she seen Nolan was around 4. He told her that he was about to hop on a boat with his friends and leave.
Oh, you see how that goes? Now, there's 2 people said that they saw him at 4 o'clock. He tells her, I'm about to hop on the boat with my friends and leave. The friends. Man, it is never someone you don't know. It's always somebody that's close to you, quote unquote friends.
The friends he was supposed to hop on a boat and leave with are the only people who are now claiming they last saw Nolan at 3 p.m., even though their boat left at 4. And the reason why they will lie about seeing Nolan at 3, even though their boat left at 4:30, is because they know what took place on that boat. They know what they did to that boy, man. Now the story is slowly coming out. Now it's slowly making sense. Oh, he was trying to swim towards that boat.
Now he trying to swim. Oh yeah, he's Michael Phelps, and he's gonna jump in the water to swim to the boat. Man, they pushed that boy in that water and drowned.
Because he got kicked off the boat. He got pushed off the boat, which is murder. Benjamin Crumb says, yo, Nolan is a strong swimmer. Strong. He not just hopping in a body of water and then drowning. No, it would take him trying to swim for his life, trying to reach that boat. But the boat just kept on sailing, just kept on going away from him. And it took him drowning because he just got too tired after swimming for miles. This, to me, is starting to make sense. The more information that comes out, the more we're starting to piece this together.
The only problem I have with that story is that if the people in the boat knew he was trying to swim to it and they saw him getting carried.
Why not stop if that was the theory? If he jumped off and we saw him in the water swimming to us, trying to get to us, why wouldn't the boat stop? It don't make sense. Man. Damn. Can a little nigga swim? That's what they come on, man.
Carried off with the current, they would have known about it. They would have been able to react to it. Not only that, even if that wasn't the case, if he went into the water at all and became distressed, it was so crowded that day that it seems hard to believe that nobody would have noticed a distressed swimmer in the water. What I do know is that
they are putting all these, he drowned or I believe he was beat and pushed in that water. Because why are they lying? Even if it was an accident, why are y'all lying? What does the autopsy say? That's what we need to be waiting on. That's what we need to be waiting on, Flacco. We need the autopsy.
He went out there with a number of boys that has been his regular friend group since he was young. They were ready to leave at about 3:00. They told him it's time to go. I was told he had started talking to a young lady, and he wanted to hang back and keep talking to her, and that he would believe that he could get another ride.
Common sense will really help you work this out. Nolan was not the last person to leave the island. If he was the last person, they would have said, hey, we was all leaving. Like, we all was leaving, and he was just staying around. He was just staying on the island, and we don't know why he was just staying there, but he was just staying on the island, and like we all left. He said he was going to get a ride. But clearly he was not the last person to leave the island. He didn't drown alone. He didn't drown with nobody there to see. Because if that's the case, again, they would have said, oh, yeah, he was the last person on the island. Like, oh, we were the last boat to leave the island. He was still there when we left. Someone would have came out and said that. So clearly that's not true. Clearly it's not. And if he would have...
It's always your friend, somebody that's close to you. It's never somebody that you don't know.
Drown with everybody around.
They don't want you to know about it.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident up to 1 year ago? Even if you weren't driving. Just
people would have seen it. What are you talking about? It was a packed island. Clearly what happened was that kid was on that boat. He was pushed off that boat, and he tried to swim to the boat, but he just kept on sailing, and eventually, bro, he was too far out, and he drowned.
We know that.
Even if that was the case, why not? If he wasn't murdered, why not? Why are they lying to the police? Oh, we ain't seen them. We haven't saw them. Come on, man. No, it's foul play. It's too many people lying.
He was with his friends. And they went out on Horn Island, as Charles said. He was the only black teenager that was there. And, you know, all of them came back safely on the boat with his cell phone, Harvey. But Nolan's body was found washed up on the shore on Monday morning. His family is not accepting that it was an accidental drowning. They haven't been told anything, but that's been the suggestion, and they're not accepting that because Nolan was a college football player. He was a superior athlete. He was in great fitness and condition, and so for them to try to say, well, we got his phone, but we don't know where he's at, and then he turns up dead. They are not accepting it, and there are so many questions, so many contradictions.
That was Benjamin Crump earlier today on TMZ. Benjamin Crump has been brought in to lead a private investigation into Nolan Wells' death. I say Nolan Wells' murder, but maybe I'm just too pessimistic. But yeah, I think he was murdered. But yeah,
I think the same, Flacco. Because they lying, man. They wouldn't be lying.
Right, yo, if this was just one or two things that ain't make sense, but the entire story is contradictory. The entire story doesn't make sense. And then you take into consideration things like, yo, his phone was left with the very same people who claim they hadn't seen him since 3 p.m. Huh?
Make it make sense. His mom already said he has attachment issues with that phone. So he's not going to leave that phone.
Oh, and by the way, when the family got back the phone, messages were deleted from the phone. Things were deleted from the phone. Even though Nolan Wells apparently hadn't had his phone since earlier that day, according to them. Huh? What? Nolan Wells was on an island at 4 and then magically disappeared from the island. Nobody's seen him. But then all of a sudden people did see him and they say, oh no, he was swimming towards the boat. Huh?
I know there is one friend, a young woman who has come forward and has spoken to the police, and I'm wondering if she's spoken to you and how her version of events differ from what the other friends have said.
She hasn't spoken to us, but we know her statement that she released publicly. She said that she was talking to Nolan, and then Nolan said, well, I'm going back to the boat with the guys I came with. That's her version. She said that he did not leave with her, that he went back and got in the boat with the other boys. Well, the boys say that when they was talking to Nolan, he said he wasn't going to get in the boat with them.
They didn't know that somebody else had saw him. They gave that statement not knowing that somebody else saw him with them.
That he was going to stay with her, stay behind with her. Their statements contradict one another, and that is something that's very troubling. On top of the fact that we know there are videos circulating where there's an argument where you hear Nolan arguing with somebody, and we're trying to say, this is too much to just try to sweep under the rug.
I think the buck stops at the police and law enforcement agency investigating this, man. They came out and said, hey, man, if anybody knows anything, please come forward and tell us. We're looking for people who can tell us something. Excuse me? Y'all looking for people? Huh? Y'all looking? How about you start with the person that Nolan was arguing with in the water? How about you start with the 3 friends he came with? How about you start with the judge's son?
I guess it's kind of different when your mom and your dad and your aunties and your rich neighbors, they all know each other and have for a very long time. You know? And this is probably not the first time that this has happened. Maybe not on this magnitude, but this is not the first time that they hid something.
Stunned. How about you go to how about you talk to the people who were involved? How about you talk to the people who had this kid's phone with them? Hey man, we are like looking for people who was there. If you see something, please come forward. Y'all know who to talk to. Y'all just not talking to them because why? They come from powerful families. They come from strong families. And y'all just don't think that it's really worth kicking up dust in that small town. That's what it is. But y'all let me know in the comments.
Well, Flacco, I think you're absolutely right. It has been foul play there. I think everybody need to be charged with first-degree murder. That's right. That's right. Anyway, this is Hellkat, back giving my 2 cents. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for daily content. Alright? Love what loves you, and take care of what takes care of you. I'm out.